we are now to the point of the offseason coming to an end, training camp about to begin, and NFL fans wondering what their teams will look like in the upcoming season. Let's answer some of those questions. What's going on, guys? Dick Support here, back to another video, and yes, it is time for my training camp preview. Been waiting to do this, cannot wait to get into these teams, starting with the AFC East, as usual, where this might be the most unpredictable division in the NFL this year, and I'm quite confident in saying that, just by looking at what happened during the offseason. Well, as always, we're going to jump right in with the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo had, well, a strange draft. They traded down twice in the first round, the second time trading out of the first round with the Carolina Panthers, and then they traded the first time with the Chiefs so that the Chiefs could take Xavier Worthy, who was the fastest player at the Combine, and even the second time was another Xavier who was also a wide receiver, and the Bills also took a wide receiver. Okay, they had the weirdest draft. I still could not believe what happened there. Anyway, yeah, so Keon Coleman is replacing Stephon Diggs. That's basically what's going on here. Keon Coleman is replacing Stephon Diggs, and then you have Curtis Samuel, who's replacing Gabe Davis. Now, those are two big holes to fill for Gabe Davis. I mean, we remember the playoff games that he had when he was with the Bills, and then Stephon Diggs, I mean, he just produced as a Buffalo Bill, multiple 100-catch seasons, multiple Pro Bowls. He was amazing. However, he did slow down towards the second half of the 2023 season, so maybe it was time to move on. But Keon Coleman is coming into a situation where he's going to be expected to produce right away, and I don't know if that's really going to happen with him. I'm not entirely sure. We're just going to have to see what happens when he does take the field. But that's not the only issue. Another issue is on the defense. They lost both their starting safeties. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they are both gone. And it's going to be tough. I mean, replacing one safety, that's challenging enough. But when you have to replace the safety duo, it can be difficult. And Tre'Davious White, he's gone. Now, James Cook produced as a running back last year. They still have Josh Allen. And even after receiving a big scare, Deion Dawkins is staying as their left tackle. But, man, the Bills did lose some players during the offseason. And while you still have Josh Allen, you just have to wonder, how much open is this window? Is this going to be their last chance to win a Super Bowl? I mean, they have had some really good seasons with Josh Allen as their starting quarterback. But they just came up short in the playoffs, normally to the Kansas City Chiefs. We all remember those playoff games. And it happened again during this year's playoffs. I don't know what's going to happen with this Buffalo Bills team. I could see it going a number of ways. Really, they might be the most unpredictable team going into this season. I'm just going to say this. Miami had a rough offseason. I mean, you're talking about not only losing Robert Hunt and Christian Wilkins, who signed $100 million contracts elsewhere, but they also lost some very good pieces that produced for them. I mean, Xavier Howard, he was cut. Andrew Van Ginkel signed with another team. Jerome Baker, he's gone. And other players that made impact for the Dolphins, I mean, it's a lot for them to replace. Not only that, but their top edge rushers, Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, we have no idea if they're going to be ready come week one because of serious lower body injuries that they suffered during the season. Jalen Phillips was lost midway through the season, and then late in the season, the second to last game, Bradley Chubb was lost to an injury. And again, no idea when they're going to be back on the field. That's why they drafted Chop Robinson in the first round to help offset that a little bit, and bring in Shaquille Barrett. But again, I mean, those are their two best edge rushers, and they lost other guys on the edge during the offseason. It could be a rough start for Miami on defense if those guys are going to be out for a while to start the season. But that's not the biggest story with the Dolphins. And it's never going to be until they can get over the hump that is December. Once December comes around, Miami just falls off a cliff. Remember when December started last year? they were not only leading the division, but in the running for the #1 seed. And then, at the end of the season, they were a wildcard team and had lost in the first round of the playoffs. That is not what anyone expected from this team. So that's going to be the big thing. No matter what happens to start the season, once they hit December, can they get over the hump and just make a deep playoff run, even just win a playoff game? That's something that we're going to have to find out. Also, Tonga Vailoa, is he going to get a contract extension? I don't know. Nobody knows until that happens. Let's talk about the Patriots. I think we all know this. With a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, the Patriots are going to have growing pains, especially with a team that doesn't have a lot of talent right now. Now, they were able to get some pieces to help out Drake May. I mean, they re-signed one of their offensive linemen. Ramondre Stevenson just got a contract extension. Drafted a receiver in the second round to help him out. But again, I mean, you're talking about a rookie quarterback who a lot of people had as the biggest boom or bust in this draft, and a rookie head coach in Gerard Mayo. And you're moving on from a guy in Bill Belichick who had been there since 2000. There is definitely going to be some growing pains for this new look Patriot team that really is just going to have to find out who's going to be a part of this future and who's just a stopgap. And at this point, I mean, I don't know what to expect with the Patriots for the future. Can Drake May be the franchise quarterback? Absolutely. Could Gerard Mayo turn out to be a wonderful head coaching hire? Absolutely. Did they find some long-term pieces in the draft? Maybe. But at the moment, we just don't know. And with a team like this that doesn't have a lot of talent and is going to take a while before they really have the talent to get back into competing, it's going to be a process for Patriot fans, and they have to understand that after years of dominance in the AFC, this is really where the rebuild starts, and it's going to take a while. And again, just be patient. Oh my goodness, the Jets might be the favorites to win this division. I can't believe I just said that, but it might be true. Their biggest issue last year was the offensive line. I mean, there's a reason why Aaron Rodgers only lasted 4 snaps. Sorry, Jet fans. Anyway, they improved on that. They got Morgan Moses. They got Tyron Smith. They got John Simpson, and then they drafted Olu Fashanu. And not only that, they added to the offense by getting Mike Williams, who was cut by the Chargers. Wait a minute. Did the Jets do everything right this offseason? They might have. Aaron Rodgers is going to be there week 1. And if he can perform in this offense, really all he needs is 20 points a game, because the defense was amazing last year. I'm expecting it to be amazing again. And if the offense can help out, take the pressure off of this defense, man, the Jets might be very good. Now, the thing is, things don't always go according to plan for the Jets. Again, 4 snaps. Sorry again, Jet fans. And there are questions with the pieces that they brought in. Now, Olu Fashanu, he's a little bit of a developmental guy, but there's a reason they got Moses and Smith. But Moses is getting up there in age, and Smith's been injured the last few seasons. And even with John Simpson, the Ravens took a flyer on him, and he ended up performing well for them. But can he perform outside of a Ravens uniform? That's a fair question. And as always, injuries. Everybody knows that. And we're dealing with a guy in Aaron Rodgers that is over 40. That is a big ask for him to be the Aaron Rodgers that he was with the Packers when, yeah, he is getting up there in age. Can he still perform? If the Jets can stay healthy, and really, if Rodgers can be half as good as he was as a Packer, yeah, the Jets could realistically win this division and go on a playoff run. But, again, it doesn't always go to plan, so you need to have a little luck on your side, Jets. And maybe you could do big things this year. Alright guys, those were my thoughts on the AFC East. Next up is going to be the NFC East, and boy do I have a lot to talk about with that division. I'll see you guys next time.